Alright, welcome to the channel. This is Nscalien, the N-scale alien. So what we're going to be doing today is making ballast, DIY, cheap ballast. So what we've got here is a bag of what is known as crusher dust. Now I'm not sure where else in the world this is known and if it's called the same stuff everywhere, but in Australia this stuff's very common. It's at every building site, anywhere there's concrete. They put this stuff under it. Pretty much it comes out of a crusher. So anywhere that rocks are getting crushed, you'll be able to get crusher dust, I imagine. So you're going to need crusher dust or other kinds of dirt. Now we just made some out of other kind of dirt and it turned out alright, but really we just want the crusher dust. And you want this. This thing is a, what do you call it? Flour sieve. You get these at, wherever, Kmart and other cheap shops. Stuff like that. Don't pay much for it because you're only going to trash it. Now it's got 2 layers of sieve in there and 2 little, well actually 3 little hexagonal stirrers that go when you pull the handle, but I came up with a way that's even easier than that. So what you're going to do is get a scoop of your crusher dust like so. Now you can sit here and do that and it works, or you can tap it and that works quite well. But for ultimate ease, reach into your partner's drawer. Perhaps you'll have one of these. How does the normal screen work? Well, it vibrates. So what are you going to need? You're going to need a vibrator. Turn it on number 3 and just whack that on there and just watch the ballast rain down. Look at that. Oh, it's so easy. And if you look in the top, you can see that that's all going around in a circle. So yeah, just watching, wait as that all comes out of there. Move it around a little bit and there'll just come a point where it just stops coming out and you've got all of the sieved ballast that you want. All the other stuff stuck in there. Alright, so it looks like pretty much not a lot of stuff coming out of there anymore. You honestly don't get a lot of ballast for the amount of crusher dust, but that's alright because crusher dust, like I said, you can find it anywhere. You can buy it at Bunnings and other hardwares. Alright, so there we go. And then you can just pour this one out. You don't really want that unless you want to use it somewhere else on your layout for a larger stones. And what we've got is this, and that's going to be perfect ballast, and that's what I'm using on my layout everywhere, and it's coming up nice. And then when you do the glue, you can put a little bit of just PVA water dish soap. Everyone knows about that, but if you put a tiny little bit of paint in there, even some darker paint, or possibly lighter even, or brown, whatever you want. So again, just get your sieve, get your vibrator, and just watch it make tons of ballast per hour. So hopefully that was helpful. You might need to charge your vibrator if it's been in use, and you might want to buy one just for this on eBay, quite cheap. I don't know how much they cost, $20 or something. Otherwise you might get in trouble. Probably put in a little bit less in the cup, just so I can really shake it out like that. Look at that, raining ballast. No effort at all. And that's what we like to see, free ballast. Costs you a sieve, I don't know how much those cost, I think it's about $5, if that. Cheap shop. Vibrator you may or may not already have. Bloody have a look, it might be $10, $20. Get them on Shein, Alibaba, Temu, Wish.com, eBay. Don't go to your local store. They're so expensive in the local stores. So yeah, again, Balast Factory. So I'm just going to smash this whole bag out, and then we can throw away all the big chunks and put the ballast in a it's like a sauce container, something with like a nozzle, and then you can just pour it out of the nozzle exactly where you want it. Doesn't take very long to get all the ballast out of the crusher dust. And for HO scale and whatnot, if you use different size sieves, I'm sure you can size different size ballasts. For N scale, I'm pretty happy with how this goes. You can sit here and get every last drop out. I just do it until it sort of stops pumping out heaps. Out there. And then because the sieve has 2 layers of screen inside it, there's a certain sized rock that gets in between. So we'll pause. So yeah, in between the sieves is another kind of ballast. There's no real way of getting it out of there. Sometimes it just gets stuck in there. You could maybe do this for hours. Maybe it'll come out if we try and vibrate it, but pretty much you just drill a hole in the side and then that size ballast will come out. Alright, so there we go. And as you can see, that's a different grade. It's nice and chunky, that one. That's probably HO ballast, honestly, but you don't get a lot of that for the amount of this that you get. And it turns out really nice. That's a nice grade, but I don't know exactly what for yet. But there you go. So hopefully you found that entertaining, fun, exciting, informative, and all of the rest. And we're going to keep on keeping on, and we'll use this entire battery, and then we'll have to go and put it on the charge. It's called Wand Massager if you're trying to buy one of these. You don't have to buy a pink one. It might just be if you already have one. It's going to get a bit dirty, so probably just buy one for doing this. Alright, that's it, Nscalien, my first informative video. Haven't really seen anyone else doing this, but because I have experience in the real world in around screening, crushing and all that sort of sorting out of different sizes of rock and whatnot, I've worked in a few different mines. I was like, how do they do it? They vibrate it. I'm like, yeah, well that beats shaking it or bloody pulling that hand thing, which I was doing, but it was working, but it was taking a while. It's like, you know what, if I could just vibrate that. I was like, you know what? Oh, I know somebody who has one of those. Yeah, it's so fucking satisfying too, look at it. Oh. Gives you the jollies. Seeing how easy that comes out of there. Oh, it turns you on. Alright, that's enough. I'm getting out of here while it's still childly friendly. PG rated and all the rest of it. And there you go, that's how I'm making ballast for the Nscalien layout. Bye bye now.